Welcome back, everyone. Maine Fly Guys here with the larval stage. Welcome back, everyone. Maine Fly Guys here with another tutorial. We're sticking with the caddis today, and we will be tying the pupa stage of the caddis. And this is a stage where they're either about to hatch or sort of they're going on their way to hatch. Sort of an emerger, if you will, but not like a true emerger. It's not really in the film of the water yet. So a great pattern to use in the months of sort of, June, July, and September. June and July are really the top notch. So here I have some dubbing. This is a curved hook. You're going to want to use a curved hook. In this pupa stage, they are rarely straight. They usually are in some sort of curved formation. And I think position or posture is really, really important for fooling picky fish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make my dubbing body. This is either used to trail a heavier nymph or used sort of just below the film of the water. Okay, you want to leave about 2 eye lengths for your thorax. And again, this one can be messy because it's in this sort of changing stage where it's about to transform, and so typically it's not super clean, but of course you can make it super clean. They do get a little, there is a taper on the pupa stage, so do your best. Again, it's if I'm a fish, do I really care? Probably not, but I do try and make some sort of taper, even though, see, it's very gradual, very slight there, but anyways. Okay, so from here, you're going to take some pheasant tail. I usually take about 5-6 fibers, and you're going to tie it concave up with the tips pointed all the way back. And you can start really right at the base of these fibers. That's a little too close to the base. There we go. So we'll lock those in, working backwards, because we are going to pull them forward and then backwards again. So, alright, cover that up. Okay. Before I go any further, I have made, you'll see here, they're really, actually, these are mono eyes that I have made out of 10-pound test. And so we are going to tie those in. Pupa have these really distinct eyes. So you're just going to figure eight them just like you would any other sort of eyes. There we go. So there's our pupa eyes. Now, I either keep them this sort of burnt color, or sometimes I will color them black with a Sharpie, but it doesn't really matter. In the real pupa, they're kind of this brownish, clearish color. So, all right, so next I am gonna make my thorax. And there's gonna be 2 parts to this, and I use gray squirrel. Again, if you're into hunting, I would highly advise going and getting your own gray squirrel from the woods. I really enjoy squirrel hunting. Not everyone does, but I do. Alright, so I put a little wax on my thread because gray squirrel can be quite slick. And I'm going to just do a little dubbing noodle. I don't want it to be too tight, but I don't want it to be too loose, because if it's too loose, then you won't get that, the fibers will slip out. And if it's too tight, then, see, that's perfect. If it's too tight, then you won't get this sort of fuzzy look. Now, this is optional. Totally optional. But sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Pupa have sort of this leg. They have sort of this, I don't know, wing underneath here. So you can put legs like this, or, which sometimes I do, legs like this are great because they do have these little legs. Or if you're looking for something a little bit more natural, what I'm going to do is tie in a feather that I have pulled the feathers back. You'll see there, I've pulled the feathers back, and I'm going to tie it in just like that. And what that's going to do is it's going to make this pupa wing that, if you look at a pupa, they have this definite sort of wing. So here it is. I've tied it in. I'm going to trim off the tip just like so. So that's what you get, this little pupa wing. And they're very common in many pupa. It's not like Caddis, this is a unique thing. A lot of pupa have this sort of wing. And you know, I think it's a great feature. There we go. And it really stands out. And it makes your pupa look, I don't know, I don't want to say better, but definitely more realistic. So if you're into sort of realistic flies, then this is a good one. Okay, so now I'm going to come through and I'm going to try to clean up all these tips. Again, you don't want to crowd the eye. Okay, so there we have two pupa wings. You can see them there. See, I have them, they should be matched up. Nice view there. And so I'm going to continue now with my gray squirrel, just to sort of cover up what we've just done. Okay, that is good. Again, you don't want to build up too much because you'll crowd the eye. Okay, so then I'm going to take my pheasant, which there are some short fibers in here, pull it forward, and makes a nice casing on top. Make sure that's in there securely. Then I'm going to take two pheasant tail fibers, so you see I have two here, and I'm going to pull those backwards. Then I'm just going to continue. Now if you look at a real pupa, the antennae are quite long. So if yours are quite long, like mine are really, these are really long, I would not worry, not even for a little bit, because they are quite long in the real thing. So there's our pupa. And what I'm going to do now is just come in and sort of tidy up things out front. I have a few errant fibers, so I'm going to come in. This is dangerous, but I'm going to come in with the lighter to clean some of those up. Oh, come on. There we go. And just an errant fiber back there. So that looks pretty good right there. I'm actually very happy with that. There's plenty of room on the eye, and I'm going to whip finish. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to make too big of a head. Okay. So here we are, our pupa, our beautiful little pupa. Now, this is an added touch, but you take your scissors, put it underneath the pheasant tail, press down with your top finger, and just slide it back. That will cause them to do this curly cue, which again, I like. Okay, and then one last step. You're going to need UV gel. If you don't know what UV gel is, then you really, really should get some, because it's really, really great to work with. And I want these antennae to stay sort of in this position. So what I do is I come in with a little UV, just a little bit. You're working with pheasant tail, so it's pretty fragile. So that also adds some stability to the case as well. Okay, and so then I just set them sort of where I want them to set, and I think right there is where I want them to set. And I'll hit them with my light, and they will set just like that. And so what you end up getting is this perfect little pupa. And as far as fish are concerned, this is like their favorite meal, because in this stage, the pupa are really, really, really easy to go and get. They're not moving very quickly. So like adults are moving really quickly. So the fish have to expend a lot of energy to go and get that meal. Whereas these are kind of just floating in the water. They can't really swim. They're in that in-between stage. They're not quite an emerger, but they're about to emerge. And so they don't swim very well. And so this is an easy meal for a fish. And yeah, so that is the pupa that has caught, probably for me, the most big fish. I've probably caught the most 20+ inch brook trout on this pattern right here. It just works everywhere. Fish love it in sizes 18 to 12. So thank you for watching the pupa stage here of the caddis. We will be moving on to the nymph or larval stage next, or maybe the emerger stage. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But we hope you tune in for that. And I also decided that I am going to be tying 2 of each pattern and then putting it into a box and giving it away to one lucky subscriber. So yeah, good news for you guys. Free chance to win some flies. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.